Man, we're live. Welcome in,
Very
everybody.
live.
We'll give you a little bit of time for folks to get in here. Joining us tonight, so graciously, Trent Seaborn, new Alabama quarterback commit. Thank you for being in here with us, man.
Thank
How
you,
you
Trent.
doing?
Thank you,
Oh,
sir.
having me. I'm doing well. How about yourselves?
Doing okay. Can't complain. It wouldn't change anything if I did. So, so man, I got to tell you, you're all over the place of late, all over Alabama social media. Everybody's talking about Trent Seaborn. And I feel like we've been talking about you for years since you took the helm over there at Thompson, man. And just wanted to congratulate you first and foremost on your commitment to Alabama. Huge deal. And just talk a little bit about that, man. Why Bama? That's what we ask all recruits when we get them on that are committed to Bama. Why Bama?
Yes, sir. This the whole recruiting process was really long. It was a lot of I would say stress, but it was a lot of work. Not only me but my family as well. It was a very long process that took course over probably the past 3 or 4 years. I've had the blessing and opportunity to go to many different schools, many different organizations, meet many different coaches. And some of these coaches and a lot of them too, we've been able to, my family and I have been able to develop genuine, true relationships with these coaches. And it's been a great process. But Bama, it wasn't really just like Bama's amazing. They I've always grown up an Alabama fan. Ever since Tua got there, which I was in third grade about the time.
Yeah,
I've been a diehard fan. But
Oh,
you can't always let that be your sole determining choice. Especially being a football recruit. So the way Coach DeBoer has been keeping Coach Saban's program going has been very impressive. Has very caught the attention of my eye. And the way he's been doing things there with him, with Coach Grubb. I was very close to Coach Sheridan before he left.
yeah.
Now Coach Ellis as well. I think he's going to do a great job there as well. And I'm just really excited to get down there and to be a part of a program that I've always dreamed about being a part of.
let me ask you this, Trent. So you've obviously been a Bama fan your whole life. You said when Coach Saban retired and Coach DeBoer came on board, what was your first conversation with Coach DeBoer like?
So I was a freshman when Coach Saban retired. Actually, I think might have even been still in eighth grade when that happened. And at the time when I read the news, I kind of stopped in my tracks. I was like, whoa, like I did not expect that to happen. I knew it was going to be one day, but I didn't expect so soon. And at the time, I didn't know who was gonna fill in such big boots. And then it ended up being Coach DeBoer. And the first time I met Coach DeBoer was I want to say during the summer. My high school team was out there for 7-on-7, and I think it was the summer of my freshman going into my sophomore year, I want to say. And I remember me and Coach DeBoer, and I from when I first met him, I was like, yeah, this is the right guy for this program. He was very very down to earth, very genuine. Very easy to talk to. But the first time I had met him, he had not originally re-offered me. It actually took about another year later, when
Mm.
my team was back down there again for 7-on-7. And he had re-offered me, I think about a week later, that day that we played down there. They take things very seriously, their whole recruiting process, which I totally
Sure.
love and respect. They wanted to see me throw in person, in pads in person, wanted to see me get a lot of good tape as well, film. And the way they did that, I knew these guys knew what they were doing.
Yeah, fantastic. I got to ask you. You brought up Tua, and you know how Alabama fans view Tua. Just you don't have to go into a lot of detail, but what's your relationship like with the Tungavaloa family? Like, what's the dynamic there, if you don't mind?
Yes, sir. So I was originally born in Hawaii.
Yeah,
That's where I grew up. And when I was born out there, when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My dad started taking me out to these clinics, during the week. And they were hosted by Tua's dad. They're just free clinics at a local park. Just any quarterback that wanted to come out and train, just come out and just get some work in for hour, a couple hours. And I remember the first day, I went out there. probably 5 or 6 years old. And after the training session was done, Coach Nalu pulled me aside and he said, hey Trent, I'd like to talk to your dad. So I brought my dad over and he introduced himself and exchanged numbers or whatever. And we've really gotten to be very close with them over the years.
Cool.
It would be Tua was in high school at the time, probably sophomore, junior high school. Talia was in middle school, and we'd be training almost every day out at the park. And then when Tua enrolled at Alabama, Talia actually went to Thompson, the school I'm at right now.
That's
and,
right.
They had moved out to Alabama, and my family had actually moved out to Colorado because cost of living in Hawaii was starting to get kind of out of hand for my family. And but even when we were still living in Colorado, we would frequently fly out every few months to come train with Coach Nalu, because he's been my trainer ever since I was a little kid. And when we would fly out here and train with him, we would watch Talia on Friday nights, watch Tua on Saturdays, and through the Tonga Vailoas is how we met, Coach Freeman at Thompson High School, my head coach right now. And my parents, absolutely fell in love with him, and they wanted me to play for him. So, when I was in 7th grade, we finally decided to make the big move and moved out here and been out here ever since.
Awesome. Incredible. That's incredible. I'm going to ask you one thing. I've asked this of a previous interview we did. Along your football journey, as you're starting to play, you go to these camps. At what point did you kind of start realizing, like, I can make something out of this? I'm better than all these other players. This can actually be a future for me.
Yes, sir. I mean, growing up, I played, a multitude of sports, but football was always, my main one, my favorite. And, when my family decided to move me out here, they did it because it was for the opportunity to play, some of the best competition, in the country, to be in a football state where every Friday night you're going to be playing against, Power 4 guys, Division I guys, every week. And even in practice too. That was one of the biggest reasons why, my family moved me out here. But, when we first moved out here, I was in, 7th or 8th grade, and Coach Freeman had pulled me up to the varsity team. And, I never really expected much of it. I was just expecting to, learn behind the starter, see what high school football is like, because I had no idea what to expect, especially, coming from Colorado, where, in Alabama, I think guys are, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. But, when after my, it was my 8th grade year, we were playing at Buford in Georgia. And, I never expected to actually, play at all. I was just excited to, just be there, be on the team, be dressed.
Yeah.
But the opportunity arose, and actually, towards the end of the game, Coach Freeman put me in, and I'm not gonna lie, I was scared out of my mind. I mean, this had Edric Q, AJ Bolden, and Justice Haynes on their team. Like, it was scary. But I first drive I went out, drove the team down and threw a touchdown. And I remember thinking, after that play, I was like, man, I could really, start competing with these guys. So that kind of switched a lever in my mind. Like, I knew I needed to work harder, get bigger, because I was real little at the time. I was probably 5'10", probably weighed about 165 pounds, maybe even less than that. So I knew even I didn't know I was going to even, be committed to Alabama one day, but just to have the opportunity to go and play high school football at the highest level, and have the opportunity to, hopefully, get a scholarship to whatever school, so that my parents wouldn't have to pay, for tuition, that set a different drive inside of me.
Awesome, man. That's awesome stuff. Alabama's got a long, you're aware of this. Alabama's got a very long storied history of quarterbacks. And with those positions comes, it's you're a leader, you're a field general, you're a leader. What does leadership look like to you? What does it mean to you at the quarterback position, especially going into your senior year here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I'm very deep in my faith. That's something that I take very with a big pride. That I take in. And in the Bible, Jesus teaches to be a servant leader. That's kind of the way I do things. Is I'm not the type of person to yell at someone or cuss someone out for doing something wrong. I'm more of the person to lead by serving my teammates. I'm going to do the best that I can to make sure that my teammates are in the best position possible. And that's something I've learned over the years. Now I'm going into my 5th year here at Thompson High School, and I've been able to watch the guys before me that were older than me. I've been able to watch them lead, and their own certain ways or however they lead, and I try to take after them while also keeping the same mindset of I'm still serving my teammates, still serving my coaches. These are the people that come first, and these are the people that have gotten me to where I am right now. So I always try to remember that these guys are the reason why I'm standing here where I am.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love hearing the competition thing, like that you don't run from competition. Yeah. That competition will bring the best out of you, and you embrace that. I love hearing that. That's really the way you get better. Is
sure.
Iron sharpens iron, and if you're playing against weak, average competition, you're not going to sharpen your iron and hit that next level that you're trying to get at. So I love that mindset.
Yeah. Absolutely. I got to tell you, one of your former teammates there at Thompson, Anquan Fagans.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Anquan, I just got to tell you, we used to be neighbors when he lived in Oxford, Alabama. He played football with my son. And so I used to go out in the yard with him and my son, and I taught Anquan everything he knows. So I know he's at Auburn, but I just want to put that out there. I'm responsible for the success of Anquan Fagans, just so everybody knows. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man, I could go and tell you, first of all, the chat is they're really digging your jacket. I'm gonna ask one fan question, if that's okay, and it comes from Lance Hunter, and he just wants to know, do you have any good friends that are already on the team in Tuscaloosa? Do you have any close friends, things like that?
Yeah. I'm really cool with Reb Morgan. He went to Central Phoenix. I played in my freshman year in the state championship. They had beat us that year by 2 points. But I'm cool with him. He's a great guy. I'm cool with Ryan. And then some of the other the newcomers like Sedarian, EJ. Those are guys I'm close with. J Mac. There's another O lineman as well. But yeah, I'm great with all those guys. Yeah, they're all amazing people. That brings up another reason, why I chose Alabama is that, the kids going there are kids that are, willing to die for that team. They are, and that's something that I feel is very important in a team, is a locker room that their minds all on the same thing, and that's to go win a national championship, and that's something that Alabama is special in that they have.
Awesome, man. That's something that has been kind of a general thing. We talked to Xavier Griffin last year, Jet Tamala, Jabarius Garora. We did a few interviews, and they all kind of they said the exact same thing. There's something different about the locker room in Tuscaloosa right now. It's trending in a different direction in terms of brotherhood, and they're all, the majority of them, especially these DeBoer era guys like you, they're there to play for the A. And I can tell you this, man, I've got 2 degrees from that school, so I'm excited about your future there. So I appreciate that you take pride in it just as well as I do. Yeah, man, that's all.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Got one last question for me, then Michael can wrap it up, and we'll let you on your Thursday night plans. So when all the dust settles, your college career is done, you're on to the NFL. What when Alabama fans have watched you play, what do you want them to remember most about you?
Oh gosh, I've never really been asked that kind of question before.
Curveball.
Right to your part. I'm not the big, the big cameras guy, lights, all the attention. I'm not that kind of person. I want to be remembered as a person that, that was a great leader for a team and a great role model for teammates, and then also for the younger generations to come. I want people to look up to me as a strong Christian, strong believer in in the team, not individualism, someone that that always puts his teammates first, his coaches first, make sure they get all the credit, because that's just what I do. Every time we win a state championship, it's always because of the team and coaches. So yeah, to answer your question, that would be who I'd want to be remembered as.
You're going to go far with that mindset.
Yeah, you're going to do definitely great things. All right, Trent, last one, and then we'll let you go. I got to ask, because the chat's not going to leave me alone if I don't. Is there anything that Tua has ever given you, a word of advice or anything like that, that's kind of stuck with you throughout your career?
Oh gosh.
Sorry, another curveball, man.
I'll have to go back in the memory bank because this would have been when I was a real little kid. Yeah, it was not only because Tua and Talia, they were both raised very well by Coach Nalu.
Yeah,
and his main thing is always putting the Lord first. No matter what. It's actually cool. Before and after our workouts with Coach Nalu, we always prayed in and always prayed out. That's just a thing, a tradition we've been doing for over a decade. So always putting the Lord first, and then also always being honest. Two things: always being honest with your work, and then always remembering, who and what got you to where you are right now. Like always remember, who are the people around you before you got famous, before you got all the accolades. Who are the people that helped you along that way, and then also what did you do to get to where you are? Because if you keep those two things in mind and you keep doing the same thing, then you'll go very far.
That's awesome, man.
Well said.
That's awesome. Well, I know I speak for everybody. You're going to be in Tuscaloosa this weekend, right?
I will. Yes, sir.
It's a loaded group. I did a video earlier.
Fun weekend.
It's gonna be there with a lot. You go get the rest of them and bring them on home with you. I'll go ahead and tell you, man, you've got huge fans in us and obviously our chat. Bama Nation's behind you. We're all excited to have you, dude. You fit exactly what I think Alabama needs right now, and a guy who just has pride in the program and wants to play for the A. So from me and everybody else, thank you, dude. We'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for joining us, and roll tide, Trent.
Roll tide, Trent.
All right.
Be good.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Awesome, dude.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Applause for Trent Seaborn. That was great.
Awesome young man.
That was great. There's no way that kid's only a junior. He's got to be at least 29.
I feel like he's been playing football in high school for
somebody that mature
years.
And that grounded to be in the position he's in, QB1, state championships, toast of the town, Bama. He's got all the reasons to be in, to be full of himself. And he's like, not me. That ain't my game.
Yeah. Sorry, chat. I started to bring your stuff up during the interview, and I was like, it's not real super professional. I'll keep it off the screen. So
good choice.
Yeah. So I saw you kind of give me the.
Yeah. I was like, kill it.
No, don't do that. It's like, okay, my bad.
But I didn't want to be like, while he was
God,
talking.
Stop it.
Kill it. Kill it.
I like what he said a lot, because it just reiterates what we've talked about with these other recruits, is that this staff is trying to build a different culture in Tuscaloosa. And I have confidence that they're going to get there. I know a lot of people don't. They don't like Kalen DeBoer. They don't like the staff, but Trent really just reinforced that for me, that I really do think at some point in time, it's going to work. It's going to work. And you need that variable in your locker room to win a national championship. There has to be that galvanization, that cohesion, that brotherhood. And the fact that we've got guys like Trent Seaborn who are ready to install that, that's exciting. It's really exciting.
Hey, Jay Bake, that's the first thing we said when he came on before we went live. We were like, nice jacket, brother. And he's like, it belonged to my grandfather. And I was like, was your grandfather Joe Namath? Because I've seen that jacket before in Broadway.
Yeah. Lance, chat, great job. You give yourselves a pat on the back. You guys were very mature and you were well behaved, and I'm super impressed by it. I was waiting for some crazy comments. I did not see the one. I haven't scrolled back through, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some ridiculous in there. And well, I'm sorry I'm sorry, his time constraints. We had to start a little early due to time constraints. So if you didn't catch the first couple of minutes, I'll clip it and post the full thing tomorrow so you can watch it there as well. I hope everybody's.
It was like, I got about 15 minutes, and so we were like, roll it.
Let's rock and roll, man. So you got it.
We only have a small window with these guys. Their schedules are pretty tight. They're being pulled in a lot of different directions. So the fact that he carved out 15 minutes for us is, we just can't thank him enough.
And Dumb and Dumber. Be nice, Lance. I asked your question. Come on, man. Be nice. Golly,
man, we're not sending DeBoer anywhere, Robbie. The unhinged gumps that think that DeBoer's on the hot seat, going to get fired and want him fired and all that stuff. Y'all tripping, man. DeBoer's building something here. Yes, we had some ugly losses last year. I know.
Okay.
We're fixing that. We're fixing that.
Yeah. Hey, JB, you ever seen that episode of South Park where Cartman is Dog the Bounty Hunter?
That's one of the greatest episodes of all time.
That's you right now, man. So, but yeah, great point. Character of a champion for sure. He said a lot of the right things, and that maturity level. I mean, he's only a junior going into his senior year, so pretty exciting. What'll be interesting is I think with him, even if Alabama's in the mix for Elijah Haven, Florida's pushing for Haven pretty hard. We'll see how that plays out in the long run. But if Bama lands both of those guys, I don't think Trent flips his commitment just because of Elijah Haven. So I'm really excited for it, man. When we had Jet on last year, who's now a 5-star quarterback, by the way, Jet Tamala, we told you guys, I told you as soon as I saw that kid last year, I was like, watch out, this dude's a gunslinger, and boom, 5-star quarterback now. Anyway.
So Joe Namath jacket was popping off. I loved it.
It was nice. Before we go any further, I want to do something. Jeff and I had an idea we cooked up this week, and now weekly we will have a Viewer of the Week award, and we're going to issue our first inaugural Viewer of the Week award. And you guys ready? Jeff, we got a drum roll in there. There it is. Boom! Our first Viewer of the Week award goes to Agent Case. We want to say thank you. I know today I had that one guy go absolutely ballistic on me in the chat in the recruiting video. I don't know what that guy's problem was, but you came to bat for me, and I appreciate you. And you, sir, congratulations, are our Viewer of the Week. Big round of applause. All right. All right. You can put that on your wall next to your high school diploma.
We'll send you one without the random white bar in it.
I don't know what happened there. I'll fix that.
Canva has its own life too.
It was ridiculous. Anyway. All right.
Tech fights way offsides all the time. And me and Cotton are constantly fighting with Tech. So
yeah, I don't think people realize the amount of work that goes into just the screen to look the way it does right now. I mean, like Jeff and I have been in. Like, look, guys, we were in here 45 minutes before Trent even jumped in, like arranging stuff and making it look pretty for you guys. It's a lot of work.
Trying to get a roadmap. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a new member.
Uh-oh. Who's the new member?
I'm trying to bring it up. It's not working. Hold on. I'm on it. Hold on. Oh, there it is. All right, Nicholas Chardon. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the Waaaay Offsides family. We're happy to have you. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Saw Nick this afternoon in Miller's Edge. So,
oh yeah, he was over there. Yeah, if you guys aren't checking out Miller's Edge, you need to go check it out. Get some really good information, such as Wilkin Formby was likely paid 7 figures to go to Texas A&M.
What?
Yeah. Have you not heard?
What?
Yeah, that's what Christian and Miller apparently said. Is that, and I trust Christian. I mean, if there's anybody we're going to call an insider, it's going to be him.
What?
He daggone played there. Yeah, somebody I guess over there paid him a paid him.
Bump.
Yeah. I told you, the question is do they put a taco casa in College Station? Is that going to happen?
Yes.
I appreciate you censoring yourself.
Several.
Give out merch.
Y'all do us a favor. Go like the show.
What kind of merch do you want?
If y'all are in here in the chat, I don't know how many. Let's see. 122 of you in the YouTube chat. Y'all go hit a like for us.
Yeah, subscribe, do all the things. All right, let's get on topic here, Jeff. It's been a weird week. There's not been a lot going on. Everything is kind of focusing around Charles Bediako and that situation. I guess we could hit on that a little bit if you want. I don't really see much point right now until after the hearing, which, by the way, won't happen until right before the Iron Bowl of basketball, which is interesting. Can we get a cotton and powder shirt? Yeah, we can. We sure can. Yeah, what we'll do is I'll use AI and do one of those like crazy Kmart family photo things of me and Jeff, or excuse me, me and Powder. And yeah, we can put that on a shirt and you guys can buy it. But which if you buy it though, you'll have to post it everywhere. #Bama Stew. So
that's right. Bama Stew.
Yeah. Kayla, if you got it, put the link in the
Bama Stew.
Cotton candy.
Man, I'm pumped about that interview.
It was good. It was really good. Very promising. If you guys aren't watching recruiting right now, what we were kind of getting at is it's junior day in Tuscaloosa this weekend. And Alabama's got a ton of dudes. I think probably 20, 30 probably maybe a little more than that, recruits on campus, including a few 5-stars. Elijah Haven, Monshon Sales will both be on campus. Caden Moss is going to be on campus. And I think that they might get a verbal commitment out of it. So, yeah, you need to be watching the channel. We'll cover that as we get closer. But also, yeah, well, we didn't really create an itinerary because of Trent. So I'm just trying to go back in my mind, and we're really going to let this be more of a chat-driven live tonight. And we do have a hard out in about 35 minutes, just so everybody knows. But yeah, I will say one more selfish plug. For those of you who do content on YouTube, YouTube's been a little bit of a pain this week. It's kind of hard to drive traffic. The algorithm shifts. So if you guys see a video or short, please feel free to comment, it helps the algorithm. Tell your friends about it as well. So it's not for me, Joe Juwan. It is 9:21 where I am. I'm on the Eastern Coast. So we're gonna be done about 10 o'clock my time. So anyway, all right.
So this whole Bediako thing, we're like pounding a dead horse.
Yeah,
because there's opinions all over the place about whether we're cheating. I don't think we're cheating. We haven't done anything that broke any rules. Now, did I think that Nate should have played him? No. But if you're not breaking any rules and the guy's cleared to play, I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
Why not?
I don't have a problem with it. I actually had a conversation with a guy earlier who's kind of he's a free market guy, and he equated that thought and philosophy over to college athletics. I'll be honest, it made a lot of sense. And he brought up this idea, J-Bake, be easy when I say this. We kind of all have this socialist view of college sports, like everybody should be equal for whatever reason. And that's not really a free market. And if they want that in college athletics, then equality across college sports should not matter. So, and there you go, Keith. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And so
it's only cheating if you get caught.
They had it. They had a need. They filled it. You've got European players from all over the place playing in. I mean, did you guys watch the Purdue game? What was it, week 2? Everybody on that team is from Serbia or something. So, dude, where do you think all those
Illinois had like 10 players that were all Serbian?
Yeah, maybe it was Illinois I'm thinking of, but it's it is what
Nicholas.
it is. Thank you, Nick. So, but
he's gonna play, so everybody can just get over it. Accept the fact. I'll have to just accept the fact that he's gonna play, and we're gonna have to hear poop about it as long as he does, which is fine.
Man, can you imagine they beat Auburn in basketball with Bediako playing?
I just want us to play one game with a full roster. That's all. Actually, I'd love to play 6 games in a row with a full roster in March. That'd be great.
I don't know if it's going to happen. They can't stay healthy, dude.
No, Nate be grinding them up in practice. I mean, we had an off week and lost 2 starters in an off week. I don't know how you do that, but I mean, it's not ideal. Bama beat Russia and MSG. That's true.
It was better than the Miracle on Ice, if you ask me. So these comedies out of my dang support. All right, chat, behave. Y'all can't say too bad stuff in the comment section. YouTube will get us. So,
how's everybody feeling about Adrian Clem as a new OL coach?
That's. I knew there was something big we needed to be talking about. That's probably
there's a little bit of news this week about that.
All right, chat. Yeah, let's talk about that. Alabama hires a new offensive line coach. This is the first live really since that's happened. So I want to get your thoughts on the hire. You've had a little bit of time to digest it and get over the emotionality of it. I know a lot of people wanted a big, sexy name. I don't think that was ever realistic. I think there were some big brands out there in the Bama space, content creators that were kind of feeding fans those big names when they shouldn't have been. Not Cotton. I would never do that to you. But I'm just saying, and we're not a big brand yet. But so a lot of people got their hopes up.
We can be.
Yeah, about names like Sam Pittman and Matt Luke. Who else was there? Were they talking about? Scott Huff. I felt like the most realistic option out of those big names was Matt Luke, but that was far-fetched. So Alabama ends up with Adrian Clem. And I did a video on this guy but I'm going to bring this up on the screen again, Jeff.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave this up for a minute while we chat. So this is his college work. Okay. Not bad when you look at it. You can see where he's been. There's been some progression. There's also been a little bit of regression. Obviously, the thing that stuck out to me the most was sacks allowed. But I'm a numbers guy. Numbers tell a story, and we got to look at the full picture. And when we're looking at numbers, we have to ask the question, why? So I see 2014 at UCLA, 2015 at UCLA. There's a big difference in sacks allowed. And I asked myself, why? Well, I went back, did the research, and basically they went from kind of have this shifting around offensive line to a solid offensive line with actual personnel assigned to each position instead of rotating guys, very similar to what Alabama does. And then you had Rosen, who was a pretty quick in terms of decision making, getting the ball out quick. They schemed very well for him. He was a little mobile. And so I feel pretty confident that if this guy is working this offensive line for a mobile QB, you can look at his numbers there at Oregon. I'm pretty confident that he's going to do a solid job. And obviously Alabama brought him in because they want to do what? Primarily, Jeff, they want to do what?
Run the ball.
Run the ball. This guy can get you running the football. And that's what Alabama has to do. I stand on it. If Alabama could have run the football in 2025, they likely would have won the national championship. They had the talent to do it. They had the talent to do it. That's the only thing that was missing was a run game. And a lot of people want to blame scheme. A lot of people want to blame running backs. And sure, that's all a little bit of it. But ultimately, when you get down to the down and dirty, you cannot go watch that offensive line play and tell me they were not the problem. You just can't, because they clearly were the issue. And Clem may not be the most attractive option, but I think he can get Alabama to produce something on the ground. It doesn't have to be 250 yards a game. It can be 100 yards, 120, 130, 150 a game. And that will be enough to take the pressure off of our true mobile quarterback like Keelan Russell or Austin Mack. And I think it can work.
I agree. And like you said, we don't have to run for 400 yards a game to get this to work. We just need the three legs of the tripod when a running game, which is the offensive line, running backs, and wide receivers blocking. That was sorely lacking this year. Was dominant blocking by the wide receivers, if any. That's a big problem. And also, there were just several things, but I think look what DeBoer has done since that disaster against Indiana. Okay, he purged the entire offensive line room. Purged the entire thing except Carroll. Purged the coach, got a new offensive line coach, upgraded the running back room. I mean, DeBoer is attacking the weaknesses with fierceness. And that's what he needed to do. He recognized, okay, that we can't run it back like this. It can't stay status quo. If I'm going to be successful here, I've got to make the difficult choices and the bold moves and basically telling the whole offensive line,
sure, absolutely.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, Cat. I mean, our run game can only go up, right? Yes, ideally, theoretically, you would think that. But the year before last, I say this all the time regarding the offensive line. I said it can't get any worse, and it did. It absolutely
John?
did.
Yeah.
So I would be careful with that. Just to be honest, I'd be very careful. Great question here. Who's going to be running back number one? Time will tell is the answer. I don't think it's going to be Daniel Hill. I think Daniel Hill is going to be that change of pace back for Alabama. So the competition comes down between Brown, A.K. Deere, and Kevin Riley. You're likely going to, I would favor the most experienced player, and right now that's Kevin Riley. I think that you're going to see E.J. Crowell. I think you're going to see A.K. Deere. I don't know about Brown. We'll see. But if I had to pick a starting running back right now today, I would say Kevin Riley.
That's a safe pick. What I love about it, though, is there isn't one right now. So
go ahead. That's exactly where I was about to go.
Is that where you're going? Okay.
Yeah.
We're on the same page because, 2 years we've had kind of a starting RB1 already, despite level or lack of high level of play. So I like the fact that it's a clean slate. I think every position should be clean slate after the way the season ended.
Yeah, it certainly will be.
The whiteboard should be wiped completely clean. All the positions should be written, and it's like competition begins now.
Yeah,
there is no.
I mean, think about it. Offensively, right now, the only 3 names that I know that are going to be the starter for certain, or that are going to start, are Michael Carroll, Ryan Williams, and Latsier Brooks. I think I may be missing somebody in there, but those are the only names I'm confident saying they're going to be the starters. What is exciting about that, to me at least, is the competition that we're going to see this spring. There's going to be competition, positional competition all over the field at Alabama. You get the news that you're getting Latham back. That's going to present some competition potentially in the Bandit or the Wolf room. The guys you brought in along the defensive line, Terrence Green, you bring in Zulu from over at South Carolina, obviously the offensive linemen from all over God's green earth that got brought in. It's going to breed competition. And I think this team needs healthy competition in the offseason to kind of reach that apex. I don't think they had that last year. The offensive line, you basically knew who your guys were going to be. And I felt like maybe that's what they were trying to do with all the rotations and things like that. We're trying to breed some competition and some position insecurity. And it backfired, to be honest. Yeah. They did it the year before. And I remember it wasn't very good. And then that USF game around the fourth quarter, they're plugging guys in, trying to find something that worked, and it just kind of clicked, and they rolled with it the rest of the season. It wasn't great, but it got better. I felt like they tried to do the same thing to encourage competition last year, and it just kind of backfired. And of course, injuries were a problem, but competition in the spring for Alabama is going to be big. And competition, as Jet Tamala said, will bring out the best of these guys. And so hopefully, I'm not saying that they're going to be national championship caliber guys, but I'm saying that hopefully the guys that are starting are going to be playing their best football.
Yes. Healthy competition brings out the best in everyone. That's why I loved what Trent said when we had Jet on. I love Jet saying, hey, I came to Alabama where the quarterback room is stacked because I want to compete against the best. And Trent said the same thing today. He said, competition, I embrace it. I run to it. And what better place to be than in a quarterback room with Mac and Keelan Russell and Jet Tamala and the other 2 that are there. I can't pronounce that guy's name. I can't even pronounce it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But we're 5 deep in the quarterback room right now, and there are 5 good quarterbacks in that room.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who's going to be in that room next year when Trent arrives, but
yeah. AJ, I think I agree with you. Sometimes I would just like to hear him come out and just say things as a matter of fact. And I think we got a little bit of that from him in the last 24 hours. He's down at the Senior Bowl and he's been asked about some of the staff changes, and he basically is, without saying it, of course he said it in a politically correct way, but he's basically said, look, it didn't work and it wasn't working as I thought it should. And so we made a change and I like the direction it's going in now. So hopefully, I know everybody kind of wants Kalen DeBoer to change his demeanor a little bit. And I think he absolutely could benefit from being a little more aggressive. Something I've noticed when the media talks to him, they call him Kalen. And that bugs me because I'm like, where's the reverence for this guy? I get it. He's not Coach Saban, but
he still should be called Coach DeBoer when they're talking.
I agree 100%.
Shout out to Emily Grace McWhorter. She always refers to them, even when she's talking to us, as Coach DeBoer, Coach Grubb, Coach Womack. She never calls him by first or last name. It's always Coach whoever we're talking about. So shout out to EG for respect.
All right.
Yes.
This is a good question. I was going to wait and do a full video on this.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you my thoughts entirely on this, and Jeff, you can tell me to shut up if you want. So the MC State McPete says, realistically, do you think Russell legitimately pushes to be the starting QB? Absolutely. I think he does. I think he is
1000%.
talented enough to put a lot of pressure on Keelan Russell. Excuse me, not Keelan Russell, Austin Mack. I think when it's all said and done, Austin Mack wins the job and will be Alabama's starting quarterback. He's got the experience. What did we just watch Indiana do? Win a national championship with guys with a ton of experience. Austin Mack has it. He's going to be one of the older players on this roster. He's been in DeBoer system with Ryan Grubb, without Ryan Grubb for a very long time. It just makes sense. I think the writing's on the wall. There's going to be a lot of talk about this in the offseason, and I don't think personally it needs to be there. Now, where you can rest easy is that Austin Mack will be gone. I know he's only a junior. He'll be gone after this season. So Keelan Russell knows that after this season, it is absolutely his show. Russell's mom has come out and said he's not going anywhere. He's not transferring. He's at Alabama to be at Alabama. So I'm not super concerned about losing him if it's Mack's job. But I just feel like when we look at what the trend is right now, and Kalen DeBoer talked about this down at the Senior Bowl. He talked about some of the seniority they have, and they have it in some good positions. And I think he was talking about the quarterback position. I feel like Austin Mack, it's just a no-brainer. Keelan Russell absolutely is going to push him, which is good because it's going to force Mack to play better football. And that's what we're talking about in general here.
That's all we want. The only thing Mack really is missing is live game reps. But he's been in the offense for 4 years now. He followed DeBoer across the country. The only thing Mack does not have under his belt is live game reps. He's got some mop-up reps, but he doesn't have any true live game reps. So that's the only but the good thing is that neither does anybody else. None of the other quarterbacks have a ton, any live game reps. So it's not like one guy's going to be the favorite because he played in 7 games, whatever. It's going to be legit, open, healthy competition. We've basically had QB1 decided ever since DeBoer set foot on campus here.
Sure.
So this will be the first healthy quarterback competition we've had since he's been here, running his offense with all players that he's brought in for a reason.
I agree. All right. Really good question here from
Agent.
Rammer Jammer Alex, a member question. It says, Cotton, when you watch Alabama on film, not the logo, not the history, do you see a team that's building towards the elite or one that's still being evaluated as elite because of what Alabama used to be? This is a great question. This is a duality question. And there's several different ways you can answer this. And this is going to be long-winded, so buckle up, Alex. First and foremost, elite. What is that? What are we defining as elite? Elite 15 years ago when Alabama was is completely different than what elite is today. I would argue that there are no longer elite teams in college football. I know what Indiana did this year, and that absolutely looked elite. I think that is an outlier. I don't think you're going to see that ever again. I don't think a team is going undefeated and winning a national championship again. I don't. The talent is too far dispersed. We saw it disperse way more than we ever have in the transfer portal. I do not think that will ever happen again. So elite at that level, no, it's not. It doesn't exist again. Do I think Alabama is building to be a long-term successful program? Yes, I do. I do. I think they're doing it differently than what a lot of fans would like them to do. A lot of fans want them to go out and get the biggest name out of the portal and build that way. Because that's the flavor of the week right now. And I understand that. But I think in terms of traditional recruiting at the high school level, hopefully developing these guys and keeping them on campus, Alabama's recruited very, very well. And I'll go ahead and tell you, they're going to be in the running for a number 1 class in 2027 this year, this recruiting cycle. They're recruiting at a super high level. They're
building towards the future. That's how you sustain.
Yeah.
That's how you build sustainable success is you don't rent a bunch of players every year.
Yeah. I'm confident that if Alabama gives Kalen DeBoer time and resources, he's got to have some resources because they do have to go and hit on some of those names sometimes. I'm confident that he can win a national championship at Alabama. I'm telling you right now, if Alabama had any kind of run game last season, they would have had a real shot at a natty.
They would have had a shot.
they still had a shot at it anyway.
Mhm.
Whether they should have been there, shouldn't have been there, whatever. But in terms of long-term success and what is elite, I think the definition's changing because the sport is changing. I don't think there are elite teams anymore. And we've heard that the past couple of years. We've heard these people that are plugged into college football say, there are no elite teams anymore. You know, we're so used to people going, well, it's Alabama and everybody else. That's just not the nature of the sport anymore. NIL, the transfer portal, has killed that. It's over.
Big time.
Is Alabama still competitive for a national championship as much as Georgia or Ohio State? Absolutely. They just made a playoff. They just brought in a top 5 recruiting class. I think a top 3 recruiting class. They are going to return one of the most talented rosters, even with the portal exits, one of the most talented rosters in the country in 2026. I got my years confused. So, yeah, I do think so. But I think we have to be realistic about where college football is. There are going to be teams who go and catch lightning in a bottle via the portal and win it all. LSU is probably going to be one in a couple of years if they don't do it this year. Texas is getting close. I still don't think Sark can get it done. However, I think when we're talking about elite as in long-term success, always being in contention for that title, yeah, I do think Alabama's building it. I think Kalen DeBoer is learning. He's evolving. I do think long-term there's going to have to be some more staff changes, but I think we'll see that probably after this year. Very long answer to your question.
Give him the opportunity. No coach was going to come in here, replace Nick Saban, and have Alabama back at the top of the mountain, never skipped a beat by the end of year 2. It was an impossible task. Nobody was ever going to do that. I think DeBoer has done as good a job as anybody would have. Yeah. The fact Cignetti did what he did is putting a little more heat on DeBoer because the unhinged gumps are sitting around going, why don't we get Cignetti? Nobody wanted Cignetti when he came out of JMU. That's why Indiana hired him.
Yeah, could you imagine Alabama fans?
I mean, come on now.
JMU with a bunch of JMU transfers.
I mean, we'd have burned Tuscaloosa to the ground more than the unhinged ones already are.
I don't know that he's going to start. We'll see, Lance.
He scares me too. I mean, a lot of these guys are. We got a guy from Mississippi State. That's not a juggernaut. We got 2 guys from Mississippi State. That wasn't a juggernaut team.
Yeah,
but
this is and that's why I keep saying we got to wait and see
the right place. It can click. Things can click at other places, okay? Justice Haynes was a 3-yard per carry back for us. He goes to Michigan, runs for 1,500 yards. Mm-hmm. Just a different scene. It just clicked.
Yeah.
And, of course, everybody's like, well, we should have kept Haynes. He had every opportunity to take that role, and he was average at best for us. Yeah. So,
and to Agent's point, that talent has to be developed.
Yes.
I know a lot of people question that with this staff, and I get it. Along the offensive line, it did not show up. I
still have questions on the staff
line, 100%. I do, but there's hope. There is some glimmer of hope because we've seen Josh Cuevas, we've seen Parker Brailsford, we've seen, some of the young guys that came in
Dijon Lee
this year. Dijon
wasn't
Lee,
even the start in the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, he was our
Jeremy
best cornerback.
Bernard. Yeah, and so we've seen some of these guys come in and be effective. And so it's about evaluation. And I think the staff is really, really good at that. I think they're really, really good at that. But again, like most of you, I think I'm kind of on a let's wait and see what happens moving forward. There's a lot of question marks going into this season. The potential's there. It's absolutely there. But how will it?
We should be optimistic. We should be optimistic this year. I mean, he's attacking the needs. I think we lost Cotton. He's attacking the team needs. The weaknesses that we all saw last year, he's attacking them. All right, you back?
Yeah, it's raining here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you had that freeze frame, so I dropped
it looked like you froze. I was making fun of you because I thought you froze.
Somebody froze there. We don't know who.
Roll Tide, Jimmy.
Yes, London Simmons.
Yes, great
most of the
eval
guys
job.
that developed this year, that played the best this year, were guys that DeBoer brought in.
Yeah, which is interesting to me because everybody's talking about how Kirk Cignetti went and got won a national championship with a bunch of 3-stars, but Alabama fans aren't talking about the fact that you had Lottie Brooks, great evaluation job. London Simmons, great evaluation job. Right. You had guys like that contributing at a very young age to Alabama this year. And so, can he get it done there? Sure, man. It's just a wait and see. Kalen DeBoer is also, I said this before, like he's still learning how to be an SEC head coach.
Mm-hmm.
This finesse style stuff that Ryan Grubb is doing, it's not. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Sorry. The finesse style stuff's not going to work full time. It's just not. It's got to be, there's got to be a physical kind of ground and pound attitude. And I think that they're trying to do that. I think the staff understands that and they're trying to make the necessary changes. Will it happen this year? It's really hard to predict. 2027 is looking very, very good though, if they can retain talent that they've recruited. So I think that's where we are with it. I think the potential is certainly there, but I'm not comfortable saying this team's going to be a national championship contender in 2026. I got to see it first. And that's as realistic as I can be. Or maybe Derek Nix. That was you that time.
Oh yeah. I got the try again screen again. Man, last week we were like mid-sentence and the screen just goes try again.
StreamYard,
what?
StreamYard.
I'm even hardwired in too. I love it.
Hey, Jimmy Clay.
Jimmy Clay.
Super chat. Bama softball, Roll Tide. All right, Jimmy, we hear you, brother.
Mudita.
All right. Yeah. We'll talk some softball this year if you want us to. Stick around. Make sure you're subscribed. Tell all your friends.
By your Comcast bill.
Shit, man, I got what do I have? AT&T, I think.
I just switched to Spectrum about 2 weeks ago. So
Agent, I live like 4 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. And so anytime the wind blows, man, the Wi-Fi here just craps out. It's crazy.
The show will be about to start and he'll be like, we got weather coming in. So about 15 minutes, my signal's going to start.
Yeah. It's
going all over the place.
It's nuts. So, but
you guys are awesome tonight, man. Chat's busy tonight. Love y'all.
See, everybody is. Yeah. And we appreciate every single one of you. We want to make sure you guys are telling folks about us. The best kind of marketing is grassroots. So make sure you tell your friends about Waaaay Offsides, have them go subscribe. We got some big things in the work. One of our chat members is I don't want to go too far with it, but some very, very big expansion plans for this year. So you guys are going to want to be along for
It's an interesting question. I don't know if we talked about this.
We got a new member really quick.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, let's bring that up.
Sorry, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Rammer. I got it started. Who's the new member?
That would be Mr. Jimmy Clay. Same guy with $20.
Jimmy Clay
for becoming a member and supporting the Waaaay Offsides team.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Jimmy in the running for member of the month. We're going to do member of the month as well, starting in February. So, Jimmy,
yes, sir. Appreciate you,
sir. Very prestigious award. Well, actually, member of the month will actually get their certificate emailed to them. And you can print it off. I'm not kidding.
On cardstock, though.
Whoa.
Yeah, cardstock.
Agent. Did you dox me, man?
In the St. John's River.
Wait, how do you know that? He might just know where I am. Somebody might have said it. So
probably. You probably said it.
I probably have. So all Bama sports, all Bama all the time. So Keith, Roll Tide, are you trying to make me jealous? Maybe Eric, maybe a little. All right, what was that comment, Jeff?
Sorry. All right, I got it right here. So Rammer, this is a good question. Yes, this is a hard yes. We are at that point where the expectations are too high. That's why for like a year and a half, all you heard was Bama Nation go, well, Saban did it this way. Well, Nick Saban wouldn't have lost that game. Nick Saban would have done this. Damian Harris went on TV and said Nick Saban would have kicked Malachi Moore off the team for that little fit he threw at the end of that game last year, and he would have ripped the C off his jersey. And I'm like, well, you don't know because Saban didn't give out captaincies, so you don't know jack what he would have done with that patch on his jersey. And he wouldn't have kicked him off the team. Stupid. But yes, the expectation. But DeBoer knew that. Okay, he knew that when he took the job, that he was going to be compared to Nick Saban at every turn, literally every turn. I mean, some ridiculous things too, like, wow, Nick Saban, you eat way more pizza than Nick Saban did. Nick Saban never would have eaten that much pizza, or just dumb stuff like that. So those expectations were put on him before he ever got here. And what do expectations do to everybody? They disappoint. Okay. Expectations is the pathway to disappointment in every aspect of anyone's life. If you sit around waiting on expectations all the time, you're going to be disappointed all the time. So he deserves a shot. If Hung Freege got 4 years at Auburn, DeBoer deserves a chance to build this thing the way he knows how to. This formula has worked everywhere he's been. So there's no reason to believe why it won't work here if we give him the time to get the right ingredients in the cupboard.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to go off, but topic. But yeah, Alabama. If you guys aren't watching Alabama women's basketball, they're looking pretty solid, man. Got a big win over the Georgia Bulldogs today, 68-53. So they're 19-3 right now, ranked number 24 in the country, playing about as well as the men. So make sure you're shout out Alabama women's basketball. Gymnastics, I think, is number 3 in the country as well. So
good gymnastics squad. Now, I'm not saying that Bama should lower their expectations and say, hey, man, 8-4, we're fine. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you've got to understand what he's trying to do here. And it was not going to be easy for whoever, no matter who he hired, was going to get the same critiques and the same people coming after him the same way, no matter who he hired, because whoever we hired was not going to be Nick Saban. And we had a tough time letting that go.
Yeah, J-Bake's got a good point here.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. What up, Hunter?
You remember that press conference where somebody asked him, "Oh, how many young guys are going to play this week?" And Saban was like, "What makes you? Why do you just assume that the young guys are going to get to play? Like, we still got to play the opponent. That's where the whole poop through a tin horn came from."
What do you? Let me check something out really quick.
Yeah, and Dan Lanning's gotten his ass kicked in the playoffs 2 years in a row. Is he on the hot seat? You hear Oregon Nation ready to burn his house to the ground? He's 0-3 against DeBoer. Everybody loves Dan Lanning. If you ask Bama Nation who they want, they'll all say Lane Kiffin or Dan Lanning. Two guys that have accomplished less than Kalen DeBoer, by the way. You're right, Jimmy Clay.
I did not know that. It's interesting.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Trent. If you guys came in for the Trent Seaborn segment, it was earlier in the show. I'm going to clip it and put it up tomorrow. But he talked about Nick Sheridan a little bit. So,
yes, be on the lookout for that. We had to start the show a little bit early, and we only had him for about 15 minutes. His schedule was pretty tight, so he squeezed us in, and we appreciate him for that. So that's why we started a little bit early. Those of you that are hopping in now or coming on now, just go back to the beginning of this episode and you'll see it.
This is a good question. Is Alabama going to have an A-Day, their typical traditional A-Day, or a practice like last year? I'll be honest, I don't know, but there's no reason for them not to have a traditional A-Day game unless they're worried about injuries or something, because there's no second portal window that they have to be concerned about. That's the whole reason teams were canceling it before. I don't know what they're going to do. I would imagine that announcement is probably coming in the next couple of weeks, but hopefully it's going to do something a day, because last year was a huge bust, and I guarantee you attendance is going to be really bad this year if they don't host an actual A-Day game.
Well, and everybody's down after the Indiana game, so I'm not sure if they'd flood the stadium anyway, even if it was a regular A-Day game, because everybody's mad about how we looked against Indiana, rightly so.
Do I do any bass fishing? All the time, man. All the daggum time. Me and my son go fishing.
Nice, Hunter. Going over to
last year down in a canal, and he caught him an alligator. Alligator was chasing this frog around. Alligator finally grabbed it, and that was a fun experience. But yeah, bass fishing down here is legit, man. We have a good time with it.
Nice.
Where I live, we got a ton of ponds in our neighborhood, and so not supposed to. Yeah, they pull some alligators out of them, but I go fishing in them all the time, man, and they're not supposed to be fished in, so there's some pretty good size bass in there. So I just don't tell anybody, and so yeah.
Hunter, make sure you wear sunglasses or something, because the Georgia basketball court is murder on the eyes.
Oh yeah, that gray.
Oh god, it's awful. But get us a win, man. We need a road win.
Well, let's beat Florida first down here in Gainesville. So
yeah, that game is Sunday at noon, so I won't get to see any of it. why it's Sunday at noon, I don't know, but Sunday afternoon and basketball day.
I don't make the rules, Jeff.
I know.
I don't.
It's all driven by TV, and ABC said we'll take that game at noon. Nobody will be home yet, but we'll still take it. So I'll have to watch that on DVR around 5:00 in the afternoon.
Bediako.
Yeah, I heard Billis went off about the Bediako thing on Feinbaum. I didn't hear it, but I heard several people talking about it.
It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. And look, I say this, dude. Is it good for the sport? Nope. If you want the sport to be a free market, if they're willing to play them, let them play. If they're willing to pay them, let them play.
Let them play. Until they say you cannot do that.
It's a free market. We're so concerned with we don't want to give another team an advantage and this and that. It's happening anyway. The market will eventually correct itself, right? Yeah. You know, like I've talked about that too ad nauseum with NIL and college football. Everybody's, well, it's not fair because Texas and Oregon can just outbid other teams, blah, blah, blah. Well, Texas and Oregon haven't won a national championship and they've been playing players for years. At this point, the market will eventually, that donor fatigue, things like that, it'll eventually correct itself. That's what they do. That's what markets do. So it'll be fine. You just kind of got to wait it out.
Now, it does set a bad precedent. If they don't figure out how to do this, you're going to see basically Auburn's entire Final Four team from a few years ago coming back because none of those guys made the NBA. So you're going to see all those guys come running back.
Gotcha. Keith, I fished up in Gunnersville a lot, man. I'm from Northeast Alabama, so I only moved down here like 4 years ago.
Did y'all see that Nick Perkins tweet today that had Giannis in a Bama jersey?
Guess who made that?
Oh, was that you that made that?
Yes, dude. I made it, and I posted it, and probably within 15 minutes, I saw 8 other people posting it. I made that an AI. I could literally go through my AI history and show you where I made the.
You should start putting our logo on stuff you make.
Ryan Day. I don't know. Yeah, I know the Ryan Day one too. For those of you who saw the Ryan Day neighborhood pitch thing, if you're new here, that was me.
That was him. The Carson Beck one too?
Yeah, the Sid the Sloth.
Sid the Sloth started going nuts everywhere I turned. There was Sid the Sloth, and I was like,
where he's holding the football like this. That's crazy.
I had no idea that was you that did the Giannis thing. I just saw that on Nick Perkins' tweet.
I sure did. I'll tell you what, it's all fun and games.
That's right.
It's all fun and games until LeBron James shows up somewhere with 4 years of eligibility to play college basketball.
Well, he'll be 50. And gosh,
let him play, baby.
The way he flops, Pat Adams would have to get a new whistle before the game was even over. Or Doug Shows.
Let's see my Chat GPT history.
You don't want to.
Hold on, and I'll show you. I'm going to show you right now.
All right.
You guys know I'm not BSing you. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll bring it up.
He's got receipts.
I do. I'll tell you, it was me. I did it yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Bring it up.
Wait, this.
I did.
Yes,
100%.
Hunter.
That was me.
That was God.
If you go look at my X account, it's the pinned tweet in my X account.
There's even a video he did showing how he did that. He even made a video on how he did that.
That was me.
But yes, that was the Ryan Day pick belongs to my man here.
There you go.
Put him in an Alabama basketball jersey.
I made it.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Timmy!
Y'all thought I was kidding. So Google, you can't see my Google history. Nothing.
Yes, I think Clem was on the Pat staff when they won 3 of them, I think. I think he was a member on the Patriots.
Player.
Either one. He was in the room. He's got 3 rings, I think, from New England in some capacity.
Jeff, before we go, can you explain, because a lot of fans are pointing towards his stint with the Steelers as a reason why he's not a good hire. Can you kind of explain that a little bit, jump into that?
There are a lot of factors when you have to start talking about the Steeler offense, okay? Mike Tomlin being one of them, and a prehistoric philosophy on how to play offense. 3 of the worst offensive coordinators in the history of the NFL all were back-to-back-to-back Steeler offensive coordinators, which is why our offense is the bottom of the league for going 5, 6, 8 years now. The one thing about Clem with the Steelers is they didn't give up a lot of sacks. Okay, they didn't blow anybody away though. Just the way Tomlin ran that offensive philosophy was, we're bringing in a coordinator, but you have to put it in this box. And you can call your own plays, but they have to be out of this box. Everything has to be outside the numbers, under 10 yards. That's however you want to do it. That's how it has to be. Najee actually ran for like 1,200 yards on that team that year that Clem was there. But, Clem didn't finish the year. He took the Oregon job about 3/4 of the way through that NFL season. He took the Oregon job and was gone. So, there was a combination of many different factors but I wouldn't look at it as a total dud. I mean, they didn't give a lot of sacks. That's good. They had a 1,200-yard rusher. So it's hard to gauge anybody on offense that plays for the Steelers. They're just brutal.
Jimmy, thanks for the $10 super chat, Jimmy. You NCAA, it's your fault, pal. I wouldn't have called him pal, Jimmy.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, Jimmy, I wouldn't call the NCAA pal. They're not your
call
friend.
them.
They don't care about us.
I would call them soon to be defunct NCAA.
Yeah, soon to be disbanded NCAA.
Soon to be bought out by a private equity firm, and that'll be the end of it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, it is that time. I'm going to go spend some time with my family. I know Jeff's got to be early out tonight. Big thank you again to Trent Seaborn for jumping on with us.
Thank you, Trent.
Like I said, you guys can either go back and watch that tonight. Wait till I turn monetization on the video, please. And then we'll clip it and post it up as its own video tomorrow. So feel free to clip that and share it everywhere. If you guys have that capability, that would be super helpful. Tell your friends, your coworkers, your family about us. Take their phones and make them subscribe to the channel.
I'll check it out.
Videos. Comment that thing, like I said, I think all Alabama content creators right now are kind of having trouble with the algorithm. So the guys that you want to support, make sure you're supporting them. It's kind of rough now that the season.
YouTube don't like it when you get some momentum. Then they switch up the algorithm suddenly.
Yeah, we had like 2.3 million views in the last 30 days, and now all of a sudden YouTube's like, whoa, you were growing too fast.
Yeah, calm down. New algorithm.
Like, okay, thank you.
What?
So, but anyway,
school hourglass.
Yeah. Thank each and every one of you. I hope that you guys are staying warm. I know it's going to get colder this weekend, so make sure you're taking care of yourselves, please. If you need something, don't hesitate to ask. We probably won't help, but we'll pray for you. So as always, you guys know the drill. Subscribe, like, comment, all the things. Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Jeff, thank you for all your hard work with that.
Yes, check us out on TikTok too. Shorts are up on TikTok, so give us some like and follow there too as well. We're trying to grow
everywhere.
Everywhere.
As always, guys,
y'all.
You know the drill. Say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, baby. Beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.